in the political zeitgeist, there is a really hysterical racist row going on right now with the Babylon Bee publishing an article that Vivek Ramaswamy has been given the 7-Eleven job inside of Donald Trump's White House. And Vivek's response was like, I hope you don't forget to grab a Slurpee. Please come again.
It looks like a mall 7-Eleven. And what is that?
That's the East Room of the White House. So they integrated the 7-Eleven into the White House.
I didn't recognize it with all the evil people in it. My apologies.
Nerdrotic.com.
Wait a second. We just talked about something, and I think we might have a response. So Vivek,
Hey!
whoa!
Hey, what's up, guys?
I was craving a Slurpee.
Can I get my change back correctly?
You know, we'll. It depends on what we got in the shop. I'll let you know, man. Good to see you. Benny hit me up. I'm in the car. I got a few minutes to pop in with you guys. What's going on?
Guys, the chat is melting down.
Yeah,
melting down.
Yeah,
Like
Vivek, you are on the #1 nerd podcast on a Friday night on this channel.
Awesome.
At this time.
Let me do an introduction.
Yes.
Vivek, you ran a campaign that was very social media and culture based, and you were willing to go to boxing matches with Jake Paul, right? You were willing to hop on TikTok and go jet skiing and do whatever. And so this is like the cultural epicenter of YouTube. Every nerd channel and every like cultural Hollywood-based like cultural commentary and critique channels, the biggest ones on YouTube are live right now in this room.
Well, it was a cut above. I think it was a fun campaign. To be honest with you, I think that I tend to be best at things. I think most of us are when we're having fun along the way, and I'd say about 80% of it was a lot of fun. And there's the 20% that feels like a sharp poke in the eye, but that's part of the cost of doing business if you're running for president. But mostly, it was pretty good.
Look, there's a lot of people out in the chat probably have a lot of great questions for you, and I think we have a great, very poignant question for you. What do you think of the MSHEU?
Of the MSHEU?
Yes.
Formerly known as the Marvel Cinematic Universe until there's been so many women in it.
Yeah. Oh, I got you.
That's its nickname. Somebody here might have coined that phrase.
I see. Yeah, the demasculinization of everything.
Yes.
Our culture. Yeah. Kind of what we teach young boys as part of the message. Shut up, sit down, do as you're told. I don't think we need to be doing that. I think that's kind of my view on it. I guess I'm biased. Maybe I'm the father of 2 sons, and so I cringe at what the culture tries to force feed them about masculinity or being a man. But you know what? I think that pendulum has swung a certain direction. I think people are sick of it. Everybody who has sons as well, I think a lot of them quietly feel the same way, including my wife and a lot of women, and others would feel the same way about not actually whipping young boys into submission out of a culture that drains it out of them. So, I guess that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, Vivek, I think one of the unique things about the campaign you ran and kind of really how you've popped off is really how you embraced the entertainment side of things, the social media side of things, and the realization that so many people who have been in Washington for decades and decades don't get, which is entertainment is really important to where we're moving in culture. And when you see things in entertainment, you got to push back on it. Can you talk about why you made that such an important part?
Well, I think so too, because I think that when you just start right in the politics of it, what happens is that you have a lot of people who have what they think of as their pre-baked opinions, but really may not actually be their true opinions. It's just
lose them.
Think
better outside.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, it's better outside. I'll answer this question and then I got to and then I'm going to roll. I was just I literally was in the car on my way into something.
All good. Thank you.
But what I was going to say is people think they believe something when you're starting the politics of it and then their brains just close up. But if you start kind of over there, right, not quite in the epicenter of partisan politics, and you sort of back into it from the culture, from somebody's vantage point as a parent or just as a consumer of information or consumer of entertainment, then I feel like you find people in a much more open state of mind to potentially trying something on like a set of clothes, I guess is the way I would say it, right? Entertainment's like a set of clothes. You try it on. If it fits, great. You keep it on and you keep continuing watching the series or whatever it is you're watching. And if not, you put it back on the rack. And politics isn't that way. So if you have a political idea and somebody, they're not willing to try it on like a set of clothes, it's like, burn that, because that's not what I'm going to wear. But if it's in the category of entertainment or culture, it's like, okay, I could try that on. And if it doesn't fit, I get a full refund. I put it back on the rack. And so I think that that's an interesting way to have backed into politics or to issues relating to political importance. And I'm not a politician. And so for me, it was a much more natural way to do it. And so I don't know if that made sense or not, me rambling here as I'm walking in the snow into this building, but that gives you my 2 cents right
The
there.
fact that
I should
you
join this on a future Friday.
You should.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. The fact that you recognize it at all is important. Seeing a candidate like even acknowledge it is moving forward. So I appreciate
One of the
that.
things that Elon told me actually early, Elon Musk, I didn't know him before the race, but we've gotten to be pretty friendly through this, is I think he said it a couple of times to me. The most likely outcome isn't the most rational outcome. The most likely outcome is the one that's most entertaining. And I have grown to believe there's a lot of wisdom to that. So we'll see.
Absolutely.
We'll see how that plays out.
Hey,
So,
Vivek,
anyway.
real quick, I know you got to go. I'm a hardcore Trump supporter, mega Trump supporter. I've had my skepticism on you throughout the campaign, but I've always appreciated how you've done everything. And now I'm happy that you're going to bring that energy from the campaign to helping Trump. We need him back in the White House. So I appreciate you doing what you're doing, man. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. We're going to try to end this in New Hampshire. I think it's got to end in New Hampshire. I think if it doesn't end in New Hampshire, there's going to be some bad things that could play out. And a lot of Trump supporters didn't love me for saying this over the last couple of months, but I think it's the truth. I think there's a plot to narrow this down to a 2-horse race between Trump and a puppet who they can control. That puppet has a name. It's called Nikki. And then they want to eliminate him and trot in their puppet. And so part of the reason I dropped out is I got 8% in Iowa. I was about to probably get about something similar in New Hampshire. If I could throw that in Trump's direction and end this thing in New Hampshire on Tuesday, all is well. If not, I will hate to be the one to say, I told you so, because I would rather be wrong about this than be right on something like this. But I am worried about what comes after. So anyway, I'm focused on it, guys. We'll see you later.
I truly believe if Trump gets back in office in 2024, you're primed for 2028. So good having you on, man.
Good seeing you, brother.
Hell yeah.
We'll
Thanks
see you
for
guys.
coming
Thanks
on.
for calling me,
Appreciate
guys. We'll
you.
join again. We'll join again,
right.
guys. Talk to you.
Take care.
See you later.
God bless you, man.
Benny Johnson.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Benny
All right.
Johnson.
Woo.
That was pretty cool, Betty. But when can you get Trump on? That's
Next,
Let's get Nikki
next
on.
up, baby.
next up.
I know I'm British, and I know I don't have any horse in this race, but I actually do regret not saying to Vivek that he was my favorite place to visit in Morrowind.
And the fact
Parents are a fan.
You know what though? The fact is he can appreciate a good joke like that too.
Yes.
That's what's cool about him.
He was like, wait a second, like he doesn't have his whole life to sit around and watch Marvel movies, but he immediately got the MSHEU. He's like, the demasculation of all male characters, immediately.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, Benny, that was awesome.
That
Thank
was
you.
great.
Thank you, Benny.
Surprise.
Good man.
We were so close to having a presidential candidate on FNT, and
Former.
we will aspire to that next.
Former
We're
is
about
good.
a week late. We're about a week late.
It's all good.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.
Hey, if you like what we do here at Nerdrotic Daily, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you could do that with your favorite YouTuber as well, I'm sure they would appreciate it as much as I do.